new in patch what is it, 3.23 Star Citizen. Oh, is this Star Citizen official?
Alpha 323 is just around the corner, and that means it's time for Patch Dispatch 323, where we run down all the new features and content included in what could be Star Citizen's biggest patch yet. So let's just jump right into things.
This is what I wanted to know.
And we'll start with life in the first person. And in 323, life begins with a newly expanded and revamped character customizer, letting you create more dynamic and representative avatars than ever before. A new beginning that will continue to evolve with additional features and options in subsequent patches. Now let's discuss all the major improvements that directly affect your character, starting with the new Mobi-Glass.
Oh man,
now,
that looks nice.
We finally killed the Flash, as the new Mobi-Glass finally makes its in-universe debut with a revamped layout and new features like the health and contract manager apps to help you stay alive and find work respectively. It also includes the long-awaited and hotly anticipated new Maps app, combining the new star map and interior map experiences into one unified interface. With an entire host of new functionalities designed to help you find your way through landing zones, space stations, and the entire verse as a whole. Oh, and that work also touches the new lens and visor updates with a great new mini-map that appears now in the upper left corner. Your days of not finding your way around are soon behind you. Unless you're a specific person who won't be named. You know who you are. Of course, when you're traveling through the verse, Alpha 323 has a whole new array of improvements to how you'll interact with the world around you, starting with a revamped player interaction system that's more nimble and customizable than ever before. Default item actions that let you keep your customizations exactly how you want them. A new shopping interface that streamlines the experience, so you can get what you want and go.
I've only been playing the game for like 2 days, and I'm excited about these updates.
To improve your alternate and more violent shopping experience. And speaking of which, there's lots of new improvements to the way you bring first-person murder, death, kill to your fellow citizens in the verse, including scope magnification updates, ammo repooling and backpack reloading, ADS tuning, and the new dynamic crosshair on specialized helmets so you can fire straight from the hip in-game, and not just from the comfort of your YouTube comments. And your first-person life doesn't end there, because Alpha 323 allows you to take the fight to zero G with the newly revamped EVA mechanics, changing the way you traverse the verse outside your spacecraft and vehicle. And speaking of your spacecraft or vehicles,
yo, whatever they running the game on, yo, it make the game look like it's super perfect. Like, I wish I could run the game that perfectly everywhere.
In a 323X patch this quarter, which also includes item banks to grab your stuff, vehicle platforms to raise your ships, and freight elevators to load them before takeoff. Of course, once you take off, you'll find a new way to fly with master modes and a new way to fight with precision targeting and weapon mount and gimbal changes, meaning
this is Tarkov. Like the amount of effort that they put into the game.
But what if flying with PU isn't enough? Or you simply want a safe place to practice
space.
Well, there's a whole host of new maps and experimental modes in Arena Commander 323.
Star Citizen is actually amazing. Like, this game is actually
then back in the Precision universe,
insane.
You'll find the new distribution centers with a variety of mission.
I just can't wait for them to get to the point where the game can just run smoothly all the time.
First fauna being added to Alpha 323. And how are the Merrics dangerous? Just wait until they add poop mechanics.
There are no poop mechanics for birds. Very sassy.
Then there's also exciting new technological improvements like our initial implementation of Vulkan, new DLSS, FSR, TSR upscaling,
Bro,
and the
listen.
new water rendering and simulation tech that
Stop.
will make Star Citizen look even better than ever before.
Stop.
And then under the hood, with the
Don't make me upgrade my computer. Don't make me build a whole brand new computer just to play this game, bro.
Instead to the
Like,
service, which hosts the replication layer, which then
they about to make me build a whole Star Citizen. I don't know how. Might have to save up the money.
that the loss of a server can be recovered from without the players being disconnected from the game or losing their progress, and sets the stage for multiple game servers sharing a single hybrid replication layer in the server mesh coming online with Alpha 4.0. So all in all, there's more things in Alpha 323 than you can shake a stick at, but there's actually even more, as this branch not only includes all the hangar and cargo improvements we discussed earlier, it also contains the next iteration of Invictus Launch Week, which is actually 2 weeks because we're all super extra here. And we'll introduce a handful of new ships and vehicles folks have been waiting for, as well as one straight-to-flyable that's available with 323 launch. So let's learn more from John, Ben, and Alberto.
The Mirai
Was that a
Pulse
bike?
is Mirai's entry into the ground Gravlev bike category.
Is a new racing vehicle from Mirai. It kind of builds on some of their kind of core values as a brand of MISC, focusing more on performance. It takes a lot of inspiration, should we say, from the Razor, and really kind of shrinks that kind of thrill speed down.
So the role of Gravlev vehicles in the game, and especially hover bikes, it allows you to, you've got a mission in mind, perhaps you don't want to risk bringing your ship or larger vehicle right up to it. It allows you to park some distance away, out of radar range, out of line of sight, and then infiltrate stealthily.
Yo, that shit look fire.
And of course, as
The game do not. Yo, how do they? Nah, man.
diverse and hazardous biomes such as heavily dense forests, Gravlev vehicles, bikes will become more useful as ways to get closer to your target without.
How they make the game look that good?
The Pulse
How they do that?
smallest ground vehicle. It was a intentional design choice to make something as small and compact and as fast as possible, and Mirai as a brand sort of fits that performance ideology.
It needs to be small. It needs to be small, fast, agile, and really that just kind of gives us a much greater opportunity of how the players can really experience that sense of speed on one of our ground vehicles.
So the Pulse comes in 2 flavors. We've got the base version, which comes equipped with a custom laser Gatling on the front. And then you have the LX, which is the dedicated racing
Cost real money?
version.
How much you cost?
Uses
How much it
that
cost in game?
weapon, Replace it with a big intake, you get extra thrusters. So out of all the Gravlev bikes, it is one of the most agile there. The reason it's so small and compact is we wanted it to have the most compatibility with all of our other vehicles in game. So by being compact allows you to pretty much stuff it into every single other vehicle in existence in the game.
Size-wise, I think it's just over 2.5 meters in length, so it is tiny. To put that into some perspective, it's a tiny bit longer than 2 SCU of cargo, so it is very small.
I'm sure there will be 1 or 2 vehicles out there where it doesn't fit in, maybe such as the MPUV, but across the board, it's designed to get in a lot of other vehicles. My favorite thing about the Pulse series is just the way we've integrated all the components together into that incredibly
Yo,
tight
this
chassis.
looks ridiculous, man.
Fuse the idea of a sports bike, but almost, I think they're called like naked bikes. So we wanted it to feel still
It is not gonna look that good for me in game.
almost like a bobber, but we kind of really wanted that sleekness that Mirai and the brand.
I need to get a. I need to upgrade my graphics card. I need to get like a
One of the,
40
I guess,
40.
biggest kind of challenges
4080.
that our
We got 4080s. Would a 4070 be good?
Which then turned our production artists and kind of gave them a few things to scratch their head against, is really fitting all of the ship items and the components into a vehicle of this size.
As we never did anything so small, new problems come along. I decided to take the same approach of a motorbike. We tried to insert most of the components in what will be the fuel tank. And with this approach, we kept the same shape, the same main shape of a motorbike. So we have very fluid and soft shapes, palindromal, which means that you can flip it and it looks kind of the same. And then we added the front part just to connect the semiotic of the racing vehicles to this one. We were really tight to the size because it can fit in a container, and that created a huge challenge with how the components move when you actually have to expose them. So that dictated actually the shape we ended up with, and I'm really happy with the final result because you couldn't say probably that inside such a small vehicle there are so many components.
Compared to our other Gravlev ground vehicles, the Pulse it trades durability for speed and agility, so compared to, say, like the Dragonfly and the Hoverquad, which are relatively tanky, not as good there.
The Nox is more tense and definitely bigger. Mirai tries to simplify things a bit, less is more. We try to have a different approach compared to most of racing vehicles and communicate speed through mass and not through aerodynamics, although we keep aerodynamics in consideration for this kind of stuff.
In terms of the Nox and the X1, it is right up there in speed and agility. So they all trade different speed attributes in terms of straight line speed, cornering speed, rotational velocities. And the bespoke weapon on the front of the base model is our first laser Gatling in the game. So we're looking forward to see how that performs.
They must be playing this game on a local, non-connected to the internet version of the game, yo. They playing on their own server, not connected to the internet. Nobody else is on it. Graphics cranked up to absolute max.
It's really, really small. And goes really, really fast.
Okay, that's good.
See the memes coming.
So what did we learn this week? Well, hopefully we were reminded of all the great work the combined Star Citizen and Squadron 42 teams have been working on that make their way to the persistent universe in Alpha 323.
I'm not sure how people can call this game a scam.
Doesn't stop here. We'll continue to
the amount of effort and stuff that they put into this game.
Teeny tiny hover bite that can fit into all sorts of places and may just be John Griffith's and James Kay's worst nightmares when players try to squeeze them deep down into the distribution centers. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. Thanks for letting us share the process of game development with you, and we'll see you all here next week.
Bro. They are trying to make the craziest possible game that they can make. And in order for them to continue to keep trucking forward like they are in this game, with this game, that's probably why they got all of those things for people to buy with like absurd amounts of money. Because like not a lot of people can play this game, right? Not a whole lot of people can play this game. And the people that do play the game are super, super serious about the game. And then as the game gets more stable and computers get more capable of like playing these games, or at least Star Citizen, then more people are able to like get into the game. But then they have to start updating the servers and making the servers better, because if they don't make the servers better, then it's all for nothing, because the more people that start to get into the game and then can't really play the game because of the servers not being good, then the people won't want to stay. But if you can get the servers to be super smooth for majority of the time that people are playing, then it'll be like, I already want to keep playing it every day. I already want to keep getting on and going across the freaking universe, and I'm only been flying around in one star system so far because I don't feel like trying to jump to from place to place. And there's so much stuff that like I can get. So like I just got a bunch of guns. I'm just gonna keep doing these missions and earning money, doing mercenary missions and stuff like that, and then trying to get as much money as I can to get a ship that I can use to go long distances, and then go to the other star systems and visit the other places, and just just be able to go wherever I want to go, have all the different weapons and armor sets and all that kind of stuff that I need to so that if I die, I can just, get back in the game real quick, and then have the money to be able to just buy whatever I need. Like it's oh man, like this. And I want my game to be as smooth as that, and I don't know if it will ever be as smooth as that, but maybe in the future, who knows? Maybe in the future, like this, it makes me want to build. This the type of game that makes you want to build a whole computer that is specifically made to run the game as well as it can. And then I'm already gonna get a flight stick. I'm getting a flight stick so that I can fly my ship with the flight stick. Because I think put the flight sticks here. Make sure it's far enough out, because they got like mounts that you can put on the desk so that I can have the sticks here and use the sticks to fly the ship. And then when I get out of the ship, go back to using the Azeron to move around and do whatever else I got to do. I think that would just be sick. I'm waiting for so many games, and I'm waiting for this game to get better, and I've only been playing it for 2 days. I'm waiting for like Arena Breakout Infinite, waiting for Zenless Zone Zero. I'm waiting for Withering Waves that comes out like the 20th. I don't know like how good it's gonna be. I don't know how good Zenless Zone Zero is gonna be. There's I'm waiting for 2XKO. Dang man, like there's just not enough time in the day. So like I need to my YouTube needs to get to the point where it is bringing me in a living, so that I can play all these different games and like talk about them on YouTube all the time. Like that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do, man. Talk about these games, play these games, enjoy them, see if I can get my friends to play them, become insanely rich and pay my friends to play these games with me. Like it'd be insane, man. It'd be insane. Star Citizen looks crazy. I hope 4.0 and the server stuff would like actually like bring better performance, because I think a lot of the performance stuff is just mostly server side like problems.